Zephyr, gentle breeze, west wind. Amphibian, creature that lives on land and water. Anachronism, anything occurring or existing out of its proper time. Angular, sharp-cornered or sharp-angled. Anthropomorphous, non-human having or resembling human form or quality. Apothem, a short saying. Appraise, assess, evaluate the value. Arable, suitable for cultivation. Asperity, roughness of temper. Assay, to analyze or estimate. Audit, formal examination of final records. Augury, prophecy or prediction of events. Aver, to declare to be true. Aversion, intense dislike. Aviary, cage where birds are kept. Banter, to tease playfully and in good humor. Beatific, supremely happy, angelic, saintly. Benighted, unenlightened. Benison, blessing. Blanch, bleach, whiten, to take the color out. Bludgeon, to hit someone several times with a heavy object. Bolster, to support or make something strong. Burnish, to make brilliant or shining. Canny, clever and able to think quickly, especially about money or business. Carnal, of the flesh, sensual. Carp, to find faults, complain constantly. Cavalcade, a procession or sequence. Celerity, quick moving or acting. Cession, surrender, as of possessions or rights. Champ, to chew noisily. Chastise, to criticize or punish someone. Chattel, piece of personal property. Churlish, rude, ungracious. Circumscribe, to confine within bounds. Clairvoyant, who can see the future, having especially. Collate, to sort or put in proper order. Complaisant, agreeable, friendly. Consequential, important. Contumacious, rebellious. Cuisine, cookery, style of cooking. Culmination, climax, final stage. Curator, in charge of a library or museum. Daunt, to frighten, subdue. Declivity, a place that declines or slopes downwards. Deranged, insane, delirious, maniacal. Derivative, copied or adapted, not original. Descry, to discern, to discover or reveal. Diffidence, shyness, lack of confidence. Dirge, lament with music, funeral hymn. Discomfit, to put to confusion, discomfort. Discordant, harsh sounding, badly out of tune. Dissimulate, to disguise. Distaff, the female branch of a family. Dolt, a stupid person. Domineer, to rule over something in a tyrannical way. Doughty, brave, dauntless. Dross, waste matter, worthless impurities. Dyspeptic, suffering from indigestion, gloomy and irritable. Effluvium, noxious smells. Effusive, expressing emotion without restraint. Elation, exhilaration, joy. Eloquence, fluent and effective speech. Emollient, cream for softening, making supple. Ensconce, to hide safely, settle comfortably. Enunciate, verbalize, articulate. Epilogue, the close of a narrative or poem. Epitome, a simplified representation. Equestrian, one who rides on horseback. Excoriate, to denounce. Exculpate, to clear of blame or fault. Expatiate, to discuss in detail, elaborate. Expatriate, who does not live in one's own country. Expurgate, to purify by removing obscenities. Extrinsic, not inherent or essential, coming from without. Extrovert, an outgoing person. Fell, to chop, cut down. Fervid, fervent, passionate. Fetter, to restrain, to bind. Finicky, meticulous, fussy. Fissure, a crack or break. Flaccid, limp, flabby, weak. Flamboyant, characterized by extravagance. Fluster, confuse, forbearance, patient endurance or toleration of offenses. Forte, a strong point. Fractious, wayward, unruly, disorderly. Frenzied, feverishly fast, hectic, funereal, mournful, appropriate to a funeral. Gall, bitterness, nerve. Gambol, playful leaping or frisking. Gaunt, thin, emaciated. Gustatory, relevant to the sense of tasting. Hallow, to make holy. Hoary, white, old. Holocaust, widespread destruction. Ignominious, shameful. Impious, not devout in religion. Implacable, doubtful, dubious. Improvident, lacking foresight or thrift. Incarnadine, blood red in color. Indenture, bound to another by contract. Interstice, a small space between things. Iridescent, showing many colors. Jettison, to throw overboard, abandon. Jingoism, extremely aggressive and militant patriotism. Lackadaisical, listless, idle. Languor, lassitude of body or depression. Lapidary, relating to precious stones. Latitude, freedom from narrow limitations. Lionize, treat as a celebrity. Loiter, dawdle, loaf. Lull, moment of calm. Maritime, situated on or near the sea. Megalomania, mental state with delusions of wealth and power. Mendacious, untrue. Meretricious, alluring by false or gaudy show. Molt, to shed hair, skin periodically. Monastic, related to monks. Morbid, abnormally gloomy. Naivete, a lack of worldly wisdom. Nihilism, a belief in nothing, extreme skepticism. Nomadic, moving from place to place. Non sequitur, an irrelevant conclusion. Nuptial, relating to marriage. Objurgate, to chide, scold. Opalescent, iridescent, displaying colors. Ornithologist, scientist who studies birds. Orotund, pompously said. Palette, board for mixing paints. Pastiche, imitation of another's style. Patricide, murder of one's own father. Peculation, theft of money or goods. Pediment, triangular gable on a roof or facade. Penumbra, partial shadow in an eclipse. Permeable, penetrable. Philology, study of words. Plaintiff, injured person in a lawsuit. Plangent, plaintive, resounding sadly. Politic, expedient, prudent, well devised. Potable, suitable for drinking. Presentiment, sense of foreboding. Primordial, existing at the beginning, rudimentary. Pummel, beat, attack. Putrid, dirty, rotten. Quintessence, the most essential part of anything. Ramshackle, dilapidated, falling to pieces. Ratiocination, reasoning. Raucous, harsh sounding. Ravenous, extremely hungry. Rectitude, moral uprightness. Refectory, dining hall. Remediable, capable of being corrected. Remonstrate, to protest or object. Retinue, group of attendants. Rococo, ornate, highly decorated. Royal, to disturb or cause disorder. Salubrious, healthy. Serenity, calm, peacefulness. Serrated, toothed, with a zigzag edge. Sinuous, curving in and out. Slough, to discard or shed. Sluggard, lazy, inactive person. Sophist, person good at arguing deviously. Sophomoric, immature and overconfident. Staccato, marked by abrupt, clear-cut sounds. Succinct, concise. Synthetic, artificial, imitation. Threnody, a sad poem or song, dirge. Tremulous, trembling, fearful. Tundra, treeless plain found in Arctic or subarctic regions. Upbraid, to scold sharply. Vagrant, an idle wanderer. Variegated, many-colored. Vaunted, boasted, bragged. Veracious, truthful, accurate. Verity, truth. Vernal, related to spring. Wrangle, loud quarrel. Abase, lower, humiliate. Abash, humiliate, embarrass. Abdicate, give up power or position. Abeyance, postponement, temporary suspension. Abhor, detest, loathe. Abjure, renounce, to formally reject or abandon. Ablution, cleansing, washing. Abortive, unsuccessful, interruptive while incomplete. Abrogate, cancel, to abolish by authority. Absolve, acquit, to forgive or free from blame. Abstruse, difficult to comprehend. Abut, touch, border on. Abysmal, deficient, subpar. Accede, yield, express approval, agree to. Acclimate, accustom oneself to a climate. Acclivity, ascent, incline. Accolade, applause, praise. Accost, to approach and speak to someone. Accouter, equip. Acme, summit, highest point. Acquiesce, to agree, comply passively. Acrid, harsh, bitter, pungent, caustic. Acrimonious, caustic, bitter. Actuate, induce, start. Acumen, sharpness of insight. Adamant, insistent, uncompromising, unyielding. Adduce, offer as example. Adjunct, addition, something added, attached, or joined. Admonish, warn gently, caution, or reprimand. Adroit, skillful, accomplished, highly competent. Adulation, applause, high praise. Advent, arrival. Adventitious, accidental. Aegis, that which protects. Affect, influence. Affray, public brawl. Agape, open-mouthed, wonder. Aggrandize, exaggerate, to make larger or greater in power. Aghast, horrified. Alacrity, swiftness, speed, cheerful willingness, eagerness. Allay, to reassure, to lessen, ease or soothe. Allege, assert without proof. Allegory, fable, symbolic representation. Alliteration, repetition of the same sound. Allude, refer to indirectly. Amenable, agreeable. Amiss, wrong, out of place. Amity, friendship. Amorous, strongly attracted to love, showing love. Amorphous, shapeless. Amortize, to diminish by installment payments. Amok, murderous frenzy. Anarchist, terrorist. Animadversion, critical remark. Animus, hate. Annals, historical records. Apocalyptic, ominous, doomed. Apoplexy, stroke. Appall, horrify. Apparition, phantom. Appellation, title, name. Apposite, apt. Apropos, appropriate. Arbiter, judge. Archetype, original model. Argot, slang. Aria, operatic song. Array, arrangement. Arroyo, gully. Artifice, trick. Aseptic, sterile. Atelier, workshop. Avuncular, like an uncle. Azure, sky blue. Badger, to pester. Badinage, banter, teasing conversation. Bagatelle, nonentity, trifle. Bandy, discuss lightly. Bard, poet. Baroque, ornate. Bask, take pleasure in, sun. Bauble, a trinket, trifle. Beatitude, state of bliss. Begrudge, resent, envy. Beholden, in debt. Bereft, deprived of. beset, harass, surround. Besmirch, slander, sully. Bicameral, having two legislative branches. Bivouac, encampment. Blasé, bored with life. Bode, portend. Bogus, forged, false. Brackish, salty. Bucolic, rustic. Burlesque, farce. Cache, hiding place. Cadaverous, haggard. Callow, inexperienced. Canine, pertaining to dogs. Captious, fond of finding fault in others. Carafe, bottle. Cardinal, chief. Carrion, decaying flesh. Cascade, small waterfall. Casuistry, clever argument to trick people. Cauterize, to sear. Chafe, a braid. Chaste, pure, virgin. Chasten, castigate. Cipher, 0. Cleft, split. Clique, a small group. Cloven, split. Codicil, supplement to a will. Cogitate, ponder. Cognizant, aware. Cohere, to stick together. Cohort, an associate. Comport, to conduct oneself. Conch, spiral shell. Concordat, agreement. Condescend, patronize, talk down to treat someone as though you are better. Condiment, seasoning. Condolence, sympathy for the family or friends of a person who has recently died. Coniferous, bearing cones. Consort, spouse. Contagion, infectious agent. Contingent, conditional. Contort, twist. Controvert, dispute. Cordon, bond, chain. Corollary, consequence. Corpulent, fat. Cortege, procession. Coruscate, sparkle. Covenant, agreement, pact. Crestfallen, dejected. Crevice, crack. Cruet, small bottle. Cull, pick out, select. Culvert, drain. Curry, seek favor by flattery. Cynosure, celebrity. Dank, damp. Dauntless, courageous. Deadpan, expressionless. Debonair, sophisticated, affable. Decant, pour. Decrepitude, enfeeblement. Defamation, slander. Deflect, turn aside. Defray, pay. Deign, condescend. Delirium, mental confusion, ecstasy. Delve, dig, explore, of ideas. Demeanor, behavior. Demented, deranged. Demure, sedate, reserved. Denizen, dweller. Denouement, resolution. Deposition, testimony. Depredation, preying on, plunder. Derelict, negligent. Desolate, forsaken. Desuetude, disuse. Dialectic, pertaining to debate. Diminution, reduction. Disconcert, confuse. Discretion, prudence. Dishevel, muss. Disinter, unearth. Disinterested, impartial. Disputatious, fond of arguing. Disquisition, elaborate treatise. Dissolute, profligate, immoral. Dissonance, discord. Distray, preoccupied, absent-minded. Doggerel, poor verse. Dolorous, gloomy. Dregs, residue, riffraff. Drone, speak in a monotonic voice. Duenna, governess. Ecclesiastical, churchly. Éclat, brilliance. Adduce, draw forth, evoke. Effete, worn out. Effusion, pouring forth. Elegiac, sad. Emblazon, imprint, brand. Embryonic, rudimentary. Emeritus, retired, but retaining title. Enamored, charmed, captivated. Enclave, area enclosed within another region. Engross, captivate. Epoch, era. escapade, adventure. Eviscerate, disembowel. Ex officio, by virtue of position. Excision, removal. Exegesis, interpretation. Exigency, urgency. Exiguous, scanty. Expletive, oath. Extant, existing. Extirpate, seek out and destroy. Extrude, force out. Facet, aspect. Factious, causing disagreement. Factitious, artificial. Factotum, handyman. Faux pas, false step, mistake. Febrile, feverish, delirious. Ferment, turmoil. Ferret, rummage through, joyous. Fate, to honor. Fiat, decree. Firebrand, agitator. Flagellate, whip. Flail, whip. Foray, raid. Fortitude, patience, courage. Fret, worry. Fritter, squander. Frivolity, playfulness. Fruition, realization, completion. Galvanize, excite to action. Gamut, range. Garnish, decorate. Genealogy, ancestry. Genesis, beginning. Genuflect, kneel in reverence. Ghastly, horrible, glean, gather. Gnome, dwarf-like being. Gorge, stuff, satiate. Gory, bloody. Grapple, struggle. Grisly, gruesome. Guffaw, laughter. Gusto, keen enjoyment. Guttural, throaty. Haggard, gaunt. Halcyon, serene. Hail, healthy. Hamper, obstruct. Harbor, give shelter, conceal. Harridan, hag or an ugly old woman. Hurry, harass. Heedless, careless. Hegira, a journey to a more pleasant place. Hibernal, wintry. Histrionic, overly dramatic. Homily, sermon. Horde, group. Hortatory, inspiring good deeds. Hovel, shanty, cabin. Hoyden, tomboy, boisterous girl. Hubris, arrogance. Hummock, knoll, mound. Humus, soil. Ichthyology, study of fish. Idyllic, natural, picturesque. Immolate, sacrifice. Impale, pierce. Impetus, stimulus, spark. Impinge, encroach, touch. Imponderable, difficult to estimate. Imprimatur, sanction. Impunity, exemption from harm. Impute, charge. Inalienable, that which cannot be taken away. Incantation, chant. Incapacitate, disable. Inclement, harsh. Incriminate, accuse. Incubus, nightmare. Ineffable, inexpressible. Ineluctable, inescapable. Infidel, non-believer. Influx, inflow. Infraction, violation. Inimitable, peerless. Iniquitous, unjust, wicked. Inopportune, untimely. Inordinate, excessive. Insensate, without feeling. Insouciant, nonchalant. Insubordinate, disobedient. Integument, a covering. Inveigle, lure. Irresolute, hesitant, uncertain. Jejune, barren. Jostle, push, brush against. Ken, range of comprehension. Knave, con man. Knead, massage. Lacerate, tear, cut. Lackey, servant. Laity, layman. Lambent, softly radiant. Lave, wash. Lax, loose, careless. Lectern, reading desk. Limb, portray, describe. Litany, list. Lightities, understatement for emphasis. Lout, goon. Lupine, wolf-like. Luxuriant, lush. Maim, injure. Manacle, shackle. Marauder, plunderer. Masticate, chew. Matriarch, matron. Maul, rough up. Mausoleum, tomb. Mayhem, mutilation. Medley, mixture. Melee, riot. Mellifluous, sweet sounding. Menial, humble, degrading. Meet, distribute. Miasma, toxin. Mean, appearance, demeanor. Minion, subordinate. Minutiae, trivia. Mire, marsh. Miscegenation, intermarriage between races. Miscellany, mixture of items. Modish, chic. Molten, melted. Monolithic, large and uniform. Mortify, humiliate. Mottled, spotted. Mountebank, charlatan. Muffle, stifle, quiet. Mulct, defraud. Muse, ponder. Muster, to gather one's forces. Noncommittal, neutral, circumspect. Nonplus, bring to a halt by confusion. Nubile, marriageable. Nugatory, useless, worthless. Oaf, awkward person. Obelisk, tall column, monument. Obituary, eulogy. Oblation, offering, sacrifice. Obliquity, perversity. Odoriferous, pleasant odor. Offal, inedible parts of a butchered animal. Offertory, church collection. Ogle, flirt. Onus, burden. Opprobrium, disgrace. Opus, literary work of musical composition. Orison, prayer. Paleontologist, one who studies fossils. Palpitate, beat, throb. Pandemonium, din, commotion. Pander, cater to people's baser instincts. Pantomime, mime. Papyrus, paper. Paramour, lover. Parapet, rampart, defense. Paroxysm, outburst, convulsion. Parsimonious, stingy. Parvenu, newcomer, social climber. Passé, outmoded. Pastoral, rustic. Peculate, embezzle, steal. Pedantic, bookish. Pell-mell, in a confused manner. Penurious, stingy. Peregrination, wandering. Perforce, by necessity. Perigee, point when moon is nearest to the earth. Perjury, lying. Peroration, conclusion of an oration. Petrify, calcify, shock. Petty, trivial. Petulant, irritable, peevish. Picaresque, roguish, adventurous. Pied, mottled, brindled. Piquant, tart tasting, spicy. Platonic, non-sexual. Plebiscite, referendum. Plumb, measure. Polity, methods of government. Poltroon, coward. Portend, signify, augur. Prat, babble. Preamble, introduction. Preternatural, abnormal. Prim, formal, prudish. Primogeniture, firstborn child. Primp, groom. Proboscis, snout. Prod, urge. Profusion, overabundance. Propellant, rocket fuel. Prophylactic, preventive. Propound, propose. Proscenium, platform, rostrum. Prosody, study of poetic structure. Provender, dry food, fodder. Proviso, stipulation. Puissant, strong. Purblind, obtuse, dim-sighted. Purgatory, limbo, netherworld. Purloin, to steal. Purview, range, understanding. Putative, reputed. Quail, shrink, cower. Quaint, old-fashioned. Qualms, misgivings. Quarry, prey, game. Quay, wharf. Queasy, squeamish. Quip, joke. Quirk, eccentricity. Quizzical, odd. Quorum, majority. Rabid, mad, furious. Raiment, clothing. Rankle, cause bitterness, resentment. Realm, kingdom, domain. Reconnaissance, surveillance. Recrimination, countercharge, retaliation. Recumbent, reclining. Redolent, fragrant. Redoubtable, formidable, steadfast. Redundant, repetitious. Reek, smell. Refraction, bending, deflection. Regale, entertain. Remiss, negligent. Remnant, residue, fragment. Remorse, guilt. Rend, to tear apart. Render, deliver, provide. Rendezvous, a meeting. Rendition, version, interpretation. Reparation, amends, atonement. Repartee, witty conversation. Repellent, causing aversion. Repercussion, consequence. Repine, fret. Reprieve, temporary suspension. Reprimand, rebuke. Reprisal, retaliation. Retaliate, revenge. Retribution, reprisal. Reverent, respectful. Reverie, daydream. Rigor, harshness. Rime, white frost. Risible, laughable. Rosiate, rosy, optimistic. Roster, list of people. Rout, vanquish. Rubicund, ruddy, having healthy reddish color. Ruffian, brutal person, bully. Rummage, hunt. Ruse, trick. Sacerdotal, priestly. Salutary, good, wholesome. Sanctimonious, self-righteous. Sang-froid, coolness under fire. Sanguinary, gory, murderous. Sapid, interesting. Sarcophagus, stone coffin. Sartorial, pertaining to clothes. Sate, satisfy fully. Saturnine, gloomy. Satyr, demigod, goatman. Savoir-faire, tact, polish. Savor, savor, enjoy. Scarify, criticize. Scurry, move briskly. Scuttle, to sink. Sebaceous, like fat. Seclusion, solitude. Sedulous, diligent. Seethe, fume, resent. Semblance, likeness. Senescence, old age. Sepulchre, sepulchre, tomb. Sequacious, eager to follow, ductile. Serrid, sword-toothed. Shibboleth, password. Shoal, reef. Shrew, virago. Sidereal, pertaining to the stars. Sinewy, fibrous, stringy. Skinflint, miser. Skittish, excitable. Skullduggery, trickery. Slander, defame. Slight, dexterity. Slither, slide. Smattering, superficial knowledge. Smirk, smug look. Snivel, whine. Solvent, financially sound. Somatic, pertaining to the body. Spasmodic, intermittent. Spate, sudden outpouring. Spectral, ghostly. Splenetic, peevish. Spry, nimble. Spume, foam. Stanza, division of a poem. Stoke, prod, fuel. Stratum, layer. Stupor, lethargy. Sub rosa, in secret. Substantiate, verify. Substantive, substantial. Succor, succor, help, comfort. Succumb, yield, submit. Suffuse, pervade, permeate. Sultry, sweltering. Sunder, split. Sundry, various. Supernumerary, subordinate. Suture, surgical stitch. Sylvan, rustic. Tantalize, tease. Taper, candle. Tarn, small lake. Tarry, linger. Taurine, bull-like. Taut, tight, stretched. temperate, moderate. Tempo, speed. Tentative, provisional. Tenure, status given after a period of time. Terrapin, turtle. Testy, petulant. Thespian, actor. Throes, anguish. Throng, crowd. Timbre, tonal quality, resonance. Titanic, huge. Tithe, donate 1/10. Titular, in name only, figurehead. Tocsin, alarm bell, signal. Touchstone, standard. Traduce, slander. Travail, work, drudgery. Tribunal, court. Troglodyte, cave dweller. Truckle, yield. Tutelage, guardianship. Tyranny, oppression. Unassuming, modest. Uncouth, uncultured, crude. Undulate, surge, fluctuate. Uniformity, sameness. Unsavory, unsavory, distasteful, offensive. Unscathed, unhurt. Unseemly, unbecoming, improper. Untenable, cannot be achieved. Ursine, bear-like. Uxorious, a doting husband. Conceited. Valor, valor, bravery. Vanguard, leading position. Vassal, subject. Vehement, adamant. Veneer, false front, facade. Venial, excusable. Venturesome, bold, risky. Viand, food. Victuals, food. Visage, facial expression. Viscid, thick, gummy. Vitreous, glassy. Vituperative, abusive. Votary, fan, aficionado. Vouchsafe, confer, bestow. Vulpine, fox-like. Waggish, playful. Wastrel, spendthrift. Waylay, ambush. Wane, remove from nursing, break a habit. Wheedle, coax. Whimsical, capricious. Wince, cringe. Winnow, separate. Wither, shrivel. Won't, custom. Wrath, anger, fury. Wreak, inflict. Rest, snatch. Writhe, contort. Yen, desire. Yaw, long ago. Aberration, different from normal or usual. Abatter, encourager. Abnegation, repudiation, self-sacrifice. Abominate, to hate. Abrade, to rub off a surface. Abstemious, characterized by self-denial or abstinence. Accretion, grow in size or increase in amount. Acerbity, bitterness of speech or temper. Acetic, related to vinegar. Acidulous, sour in taste or manner. Acquiescence, passive consent. Acquittal, release from blame, as by a court. Actuarial, calculating. Acuity, sharpness. Addiction, compulsive, habitual need. Addle, to make inefficient or unable to think. Adjuration, solemn urging. Adjure, to request solemnly. Admonition, genteelly point out mistake. Agility, nimbleness. Agitation, excitement, uneasiness. Alimentary, supplying nourishment. Allure, appeal, attract. Allusion, indirect reference. Alluvial, soil deposits left by rivers. Amalgamate, to mix or join together to become one. Amazon, female warrior. Ambrosia, food of the Greek gods that provided immortal youth and beauty, anything sweet and pleasing. Andirons, metal supports in a fireplace. Anneal, to gradually heat and cool in order to soften, reduce brittleness. Annuity, an annual payment or income. Antecede, to precede. Anthropoid, manlike. Apiary, a place where bees are kept. Apogee, the climax. Apothecary, one who keeps drugs for sale and puts up prescriptions. Appurtenances, subordinate possessions. Aquiline, like an eagle, bent, booked, curved. Arcade, a roofed passage between shops. Archaeology, the study of ancient cultures by looking for and examining their buildings' tools. Aromatic, fragrant. Arrant, notoriously bad. Asceticism, doctrine of self-denial. Assessment, estimation. Astronomical, enormously large or extensive. Athwart, across, opposition. Aureole, sun's corona, halo. Auroral, pertaining to the aurora borealis. Auscultation, act of listening to the heart or lungs to discover abnormalities. Austerity, quality of being self-disciplined. Baffle, to frustrate or unable to understand. Bandana, large, bright-colored handkerchief. Barb, sharp projection from fishhook. Barrage, a lot of questions or criticism. Barter, to give in exchange rather than paying money. Bassoon, reed instrument of the woodwind family. Bait, let down, restrain. Wardy, indecent, obscene. Bedizen, dress with vulgar finery. Bedraggle, wet thoroughly. Befuddle, confuse thoroughly. Behoove, to be fit, to be right. Benignant, benevolent in feeling, character. Bereavement, state of being deprived of something valuable or beloved. Bête noire, aversion. Betrothal, engagement to marry. Bibulous, fond of drinking. Bigotry, discrimination, prejudice. Blasphemous, profane, impious. Blazon, print or decorate something in a very noticeable way. Blurt, to say something suddenly and without thinking, especially when you are excited or nervous. Boorish, rude. Bouillon, clear beef soup. Bowdlerize, to expurgate in editing. Braggadocio, someone who boasts. Brazier, an open pan or basin for holding live coals. Brindled, tawny or grayish with streaks or spots. Brittle, fragile. Brocade, rich, gaudy fabric. Brooch, a piece of jewelry for women which is fastened onto clothes with a pin. Buffoonery, coarse jokes, etc. Bugaboo, bugbear, object of baseless terror. Bumptious, full of offensive self-conceit. Bungle, to do something wrong in a very careless or stupid way. Buskin, thick-soled half-boot worn by actors of Greek tragedy. Buxom, plump, vigorous, jolly. Cameo, when someone famous appears for a short time in a film or play. Canker, any ulcerous sore, any evil. Canto, part of an extended poem. Caparison, showy harnesser, ornamentation for a horse. Caprice, a whim. Carillon, a set of bells capable of being played. Carmine, rich red. Carousal, to drink deeply and in boisterous or jovial manner. Carte blanche, complete freedom to do what you want. Caryatid, sculptured column of a female figure. Caste, one of the hereditary classes in Hindu society. Catapult, slingshot. Catechism, book for religious instruction. Censor, to prohibit publication by law. Centaur, mythical figure, half man and half horse. Cerebration, thought. Chaff, worthless products of an endeavor. Chasm, a long, deep, narrow hole in rock or ice. Chiropodist, one who treats disorders of the feet. Chivalrous, courteous to ladies. Ciliated, having minute hairs, one a celled animal. Circlet, small ring, band. Clangor, clangor, loud, resounding noise. Clarion, shrill, trumpet-like sound. Clavicle, collarbone. Climactic, relating to the highest point. Clime, region, climate. Coadjutor, assistant, colleague. Cockade, decoration worn on hat. Coeval, living at the same time as contemporary. Cog, a spoke in a wheel, a small and unimportant person. Cohesion, consistency. Colander, utensil with perforated bottom used for straining. Collage, a picture made by sticking small pieces of paper or other materials. Collier, worker in coal mine, ship carrying coal. Colossal, huge. Comely, a woman who is attractive in appearance. Comestible, something fit to be eaten. Comeuppance, rebuke, one's deserved fate or punishment. Comity, courteousness, civility. Conclave, private meeting. Condign, adequate, deservedly severe. Connivance, pretense of ignorance of something wrong, assistance or permission to offend. Connubial, related to marriage or matrimony. Cormorant, greedy, rapacious bird. Cornice, a decorative border around the walls of a room close to the ceiling. Corsair, pirate ship. Covetous, very desirous of something, avaricious, greedy. Coy, shy, modest. Cousin, cheat, hoodwink, swindle. Crabbed, sour, peevish. Credo, a set of beliefs. Crepuscular, pertaining to twilight. Crone, hag. Crotchet, a fancy, a whim, an eccentricity. Cul-de-sac, a blind alley, a trap. Dappled, spotted. Dastard, a base coward. Daub, to paint carelessly, to smear. Dawdle, to waste time by trifling, to move slowly. Debenture, bond issued to secure a loan. Décolleté, having a low-necked dress. Decrepit, enfeebled, as by old age or some chronic infirmity. Deducible, derived by reasoning. Defalcate, to misuse money put in trust. Defection, desertion. Deify, to regard as a god. Deliquescent, capable of absorbing moisture from air and becoming liquid. Delusion, mistaken conviction. Delusive, deceptive, raising vain hopes. Domain, domain. Demolition, destruction. Demoniacal, related to evil spirits, devilish. Denotation, the exact literary meaning of a word, designation, definition. Depilate, remove hair. Derision, ridicule. Dermatologist, one who studies the skin and its diseases. Descant, discuss fully. Desideratum, that which is desired. Despoil, to bereave, rob, plunder, strip of possessions. Despotism, any severe and strict rule. Detergent, cleansing agent. Detonation, explosion. Devolve, to roll down, to hand down. Diadem, crown. Dint, means effort. Dipsomaniac, a person having an uncontrollable desire for alcohol, inebriate. Disapprobation, rejection, disapproval. Disavowal, denial. Dishabille, in a state of undress. Dishearten, discourage, lose spirit. Dismember, cut into small parts. Disport, amuse. Dissuasion, advise against. Divergent, tending in different directions. Divination, the forecast of future events or discovery of what is lost or hidden. Docket, a list of cases to be dealt with. Doddering, shaky, infirm from old age. Doff, take off, dorsal, belonging to the back side, posterior, tail. Douse, to plunge into water, to extinguish. Dowdy, slovenly, untidy. Drudgery, hard and constant work in any dull occupation. Durance, confinement. Eclipse, the obstruction of sun by moon, or of moon by earth. Eerie, weird. Efflorescent, opening in flower. Illusory, tending to deceive expectations. Elysian, relating to paradise, blissful. Emanate, to express a feeling or quality through the way one looks. Emendation, corrections of errors. Emetic, a medicine that causes vomiting. Emolument, salary or fees for a job, remuneration, pay scale. Empyreal, celestial, fiery. Encomiastic, praising, eulogistic.